dry enough. Those were thrown off the lump, which I will demonstrate a little bit later on. This one was just thrown off the wheel, and I've taken to making. Orwin, can you pick up that bowl that's on your wheel there? I make these for noodle things, but so that's just been thrown as is like that. The idea being that you don't do anything to it, and what I do is I throw rings like that and just stick them on at that stage.
So you just throw it, cut it off, and then cut it off as a complete circle and drop it on.
Yes, I mean I threw that. Well, I'll show you.
Right,
threw
right.
them off the lump, whatever. But I like the thrown quality going, of the thrown foot going with the thrown bowl, and it's a very quick way of doing it. And if you look at the bowls in our shop, very few of them have got turned feet, because from a commercial point of view, it takes you twice as long, to do the turning as it does to make the bowl in the first place. So most of our bowls are just made on the wheel, a bit of rolling, and then they're finished. If you then do feet, it adds a lot to the expense of doing them. So this is a much quicker way of doing them. And there are a couple of big bowls in the shop which have very deep feet. And again, it makes no sense to have a deep foot that you've got to carve the clay out of. So on those, I put a ring of clay, rather like I made that bottle, and then throw the foot up. And again, it's partly just a sensible way of doing it, but it's also the quality of the thrown clay seems to goes so nicely with the thrown one, rather than a cut foot on it. Right, so that's a great way of making them. If you measure it carefully, there's kind of nothing to do. If you don't measure it quite carefully, then you may have to turn it a bit. But that's.
So you just stick that on with a bit of slip?
Yeah.
Tied it up, not even on the wheel.
Well, I don't. No. Well, usually I do them on the wheel, and then I can just run my finger around there, which you could do it on banding film. Just so that's smooth.
And did you throw that directly on the wheel head and wire it off?
This? No. I threw it off a lump.
Oh, right.
Cut it off with the quill. And often, they're not actually very round. I plonk them on. It's fine. Right. A foot, yes, through a foot. I was going through a foot.
It's just the way you just get. Well, there you go. Oh, yeah. It's got better.
Yeah, it's a rather horrible fact that next year, only next year, I will have been a self-employed potter for 50 years. 50 years.
50th anniversary gathering.
Well, it's also to be 40 years since it's set up here. So I throw it like throwing foot, and then using the quill. Cut off like so.
And then what, you let that harden off a little bit and then stick it on the...
Yes, it's really, with a foot like that, you just need where the shine to have gone off the clay. So
it's not all rubbery and floppy,
Yeah, I mean, with all these things of joining clay together, the earlier you can join together, the better and usually easier it is.
But you need to be able to turn this over without damaging the rim.
Yes, yeah. But in fact, if you leave that standing outside, then the rim will dry that much more than the bottom anyway, and so it'll then stand up. I could go on for ages like this, but we've got things to do.